Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're continuing our look at the early look at Transformers Legacy United, and this is one of the more anticipated figures. This is from the Infernac universe, Magneous. Magneous, Magneous. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but this is the new gimmick for United. These are now, instead of Junkions, these are now rock-based Transformers that can disassemble and become weapons and armor for your other figures. Um, a lot of people first looked at these and thought Rock Lords, but actually, um, this is based on an episode from the Japanese Headmasters cartoon where they went to a planet populated by rock people. I also am kind of seeing a little bit of the Bone Age type of figures. Now, we're starting off in vehicle mode, and a few things I just want to point out is although the instructions show that these side pieces here come separated. On my figure, they were attached. The only thing that comes separate is the front cab, the windshield of the truck, and its weapon, which is like a bone axe or something. Um, I have to say, I like the dark gunmetal gray with the lighter slate gray. Um, it with little traces of silver. I know for a lot of people this is going to be something that's going to be hard to see, um, or you would first think that's a very boring design, but I assure you it's not. It's actually very nice. Now, I did mention that this can disassemble, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. But while we're here in vehicle mode, I do want to point out one thing that this figure can do. Oop, and there, I just popped off this back section, and I accidentally, took off the roof and windshield section. But that pops off. These split apart, and there are tabs here right in the front that will peg in just like so. And if you notice, you've got a new grill there. So you're going to come in the front and just peg it in, and you've got a bone snow plow. And I just think that's the funniest thing. It's really cool. Uh, but yeah, that looks really cool. And also, here's a little bit spoiler for later. This becomes like a super axe weapon. I don't know if you guys remember Avengers Endgame, but with Thanos's minions, the Dark Riders, or I forget what they were called, there was the guy who was like the big muscle, and he had that like giant axe type of thing. This overall, Magneous reminds me of that character, but especially this weapon. So let me just go ahead and reset, put this back together, and this will just have back in, just like so. And let me just say, um, in terms of these modular weaponizer type things, Magnius thus far is the best I've handled, um, going back to the original weaponizers, because the parts stay together, they come off when you want them to, and nothing. The transformation isn't that difficult with stuff popping off. I mean, obviously, when you're pulling stuff off, you might knock something loose, but that's more of human error than anything else. So, yeah, why don't we just go ahead and get into the transformation? You want to go ahead and remove the weapon. And next, what you want to do is uh, flip up this whole back section, and it will fold out just like so. Now you're going to separate it, and these parts right here are going to fold down. Make sure you fold them down all the way, and that'll become the feet of Magneus. Transformation really isn't that difficult. Next, what you want to do is come into the sides here, flip out these panels. Now, these are the arms, and as you can see, they're on these panels, and there's these little slots that are supposed to go into tabs right there. But unfortunately, once you start folding it up, it's kind of hard to see if they're going in. So it, it's kind of like you're flying blind. But if the car rolls and everything else holds together, you're probably good. Next, what you want to do is fold out the fists and then rotate them into position so the holes in the hands are facing towards you. Next, what you want to do is flip up the robot head. Um, if I could get it, oh, there we go. Flip that up and then fold in what were the front wheels, just like so. These are going to form the chest now of the vehicle mode, of the robot mode, excuse me. And you're going to double accordion this down into position, and there those angled slots that were for vehicle mode. You're going to position it you want to position. There's tabs on the side there, and they're going to peg in just like that. So just like that, you've got Magneous, Magneous in its robot mode, and you can give him the little axe weapon here. You do have ankle pivot, universal joint at the hips, really nice knee bend. That's thanks to the transformation. Waist, arms, head can only rotate. That's, I think, due to the nature of the combination. If you want to pop the roof off, you can, and that'll form a shield of sorts uh, for Magneous. Also, I think I've seen some photos where he holds the. Oh, you know what? I think he holds the weapon this way and uses it as a crossbow of sorts. So that's kind of cool. Now, like I said, this can actually now become weapons and armor for your other figures. Let me give you a close up of the head here. Very nice. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pause. We'll come back. I'll transform it back to vehicle mode, and I'll show you. Okay, so I returned Magneous to its vehicle mode. Uh, just take the weapon aside, pop off the roof there. Um, go ahead again and remove this back section. Separate it. Go ahead and form up that super weapon. And now this is where things get interesting because the whole vehicle doesn't break down. You can remove the wheel sections here, that side panel, which I mentioned was supposed to come in attached in the packaging, and it didn't. Uh, so you remove all that, and that basically leaves you um, with that core block section and all of those extra parts. So, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, almost forgot. Almost forgot. The arms can pop off too. So let's not short ourselves and flip the hands down, flip them forward on like that. So, you know, like I said, let's get this section out of the way. What can you do? Well, I happen to have Chase handy here, and this may not be the best figure to demonstrate with, but it's what we got. So first, I would say take these sections here. Let's peg them into the leg, just like that. Um, the wheel section. Wonder if that can go over. You know what? That pegs nicely into the shoulders. Oop, as it falls off, but it does take in like that, so you can have it like cover the wheels slightly. Um, Give them the big axe here as a weapon. Oop, if I can hold things properly. And you know what? That actually popped off there. I want to try. You know what? Let me try something else. See if that. You know, hold on. Hold on. I'm creating as we go. This is art. So we do that, and then you pop this on. Oh, there we go. I think we, by George, I think we've got something. And there you go. Now, in the instructions, they show this being done with animated Optimus Prime. And unfortunately, to use the shield, you kind of have to like cockamamie chase his hand. But there you go. Face is all armored up and ready to rip. So, yeah, I mean, explore, experiment. Um, Obviously, these figures don't break down like the old weaponizers did because they are just remember they are designed to transform without being taken apart. So there is that. Um, but I like what I'm seeing here. So what we'll do is we'll pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. Normally, when you buy figures of this type, you're buying them for what they can do for other figures. And that's usually the name of the game with weaponizers, Junkions, what have you. Um, with the Junkions in Evolution, that was the first time they tried to take the weaponizer concept and do it with a perfect transformation. And in my opinion, it didn't work as well. The concept was there, it just needed to be refined more. Well, now with these rock formers, uh, they've nailed it. And Magneous on its own is a fun figure. It feels solid, it feels chunky, it's got like angles and sharp points to it. It's just awesome looking. Um, Now the funny thing is, I don't know if this is a good guy, bad guy. It, there's no um, logo insignia to it. So I like to think of these Infernac characters being their own thing. They're only cared about their own planet. They'll work with the Autobots. They'll work with the Decepticons. Whatever is going to be best for Infernac. If that's the name of the planet it comes from, I'm not sure of that. But that's kind of cool because that then you're a little more free to use these guys with all the figures that are going to be coming in United. And I have to say, United thus far is starting off way better and in terms of quality of figures than Evolution did. And I'm not just saying that because the reviews are doing better, but these are I'm enjoying the figures a lot more. Even like in terms of like a character like animated Optimus Prime, who I'm not that thrilled with. But Magnius, solid purchase and definitely worth the pickup. Although I will say this little caveat at the end. Um, Usually the um, the weaponizer type figures, those are the ones that tend to stick around. So you might be able, if you wait a few months, you might be able to get it at a bit of a discount. Or who knows? This time next year, it'll be like $5 at Ross. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I will always appreciate the views, and I truly do appreciate the views I've been getting lately. Thank you so much. The likes, comments, and subscriptions help with the algorithm that promotes the channel and tells YouTube that people are watching and that it should be promoted. I also have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. Um, but as I also say, I know it is the holiday season, and if you got to worry about getting gifts for family, you take care of them first. Uh, Patreon is just a cherry on top of a generous Sunday, and that generous Sunday has been you guys supporting me for over 10 years, especially in the last couple of weeks or so. I really do appreciate it. So that's about it. Once again, it's your old pal Chuck for Magneous. Magneous, we will see you next time.